Israel, did you get it?
Free Palestine!
Can we chat to you? We're making a video.
The real question is, are you Israeli?
Did you just say I want to support Hamas?
You on the Zionist side? You're Star of David.
This area is very clearly has a free Palestine mentality.
So a young Jewish gentleman went around with a microphone to a town in England and asked what people thought of the the Islamic regime in Iran. The answers will really shock you. Maybe they won't. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, leave your comments. Follow me, Rafi the Realtor, for all of your South Florida real estate needs. South Florida real estate needs. You can support the channel by clicking on the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description or pinned comment. Any donations would be so greatly appreciated. Let's get to it.
I've just come out of Shepherd's Bush tube station, and I want to speak to people here about the government's decision to proscribe Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. So let's go. The IRGC stands for Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, and they're basically a paramilitary group on behalf of the Iranian government. And they sponsor terrorism around the world, like Hamas and Hezbollah. They've also been linked to foiled and successful terror attacks here. So the government has brought in measures to ban them as a threat to the state. And I'm trying to see what people think about that, if they have any feelings on that.
To ban IRGC?
Yes.
Well, I think they're right.
You think they're right?
They're right, yeah. I think they have a legitimate right, and there's a rightness to what they're doing, and I would say they're taking the right decision, yeah. Making the right decisions, yeah.
I believe free Palestine all the way, always free Palestine 100 times, free everyone. Israel, did you get it? That's what I got to say.
Can I ask why you say fuck Israel? Can I ask why? Let's have a chat.
The government knows, the media knows, everyone knows why we say fuck Israel.
Why is that?
If you have a problem with that, you know why.
But I just want to ask why. I don't know why. I want to know why. You know, I'm trying to have a conversation here.
Mention Israel.
Yeah, we didn't. That's a good point. We didn't mention Israel at all, and instantly they took the microphone and said, "Free Palestine, fuck Israel." And
Free Palestine!
can we chat to you? We're making a video. Okay, so wow, this area is very clearly has a free Palestine mentality, you know, and I'd love to talk to people about that. I would love to explore more of that, but it seems that they don't necessarily want to unwrap that. You know what it is? It's a slogan. Free Palestine is a slogan, and once you sort of probe a bit and you say, what does that mean? Like, why do you say that? Why do you say fuck Israel? Then they're like, I'm gonna go, and if you don't know what it means, then you don't know what it means. So I want to know what it means, but no one wants to talk to me. The IRGC, they've been responsible for some attacks here in the UK. Okay. I was wondering what your thoughts are on that.
Wait, the real question is, are you Israeli?
I'm not, I'm British. Out of curiosity, why did you ask if I was Israeli?
Oh no, I just asked in general.
Okay.
Like,
What side are you supporting?
Yeah, what side? Like,
Well, I'm just...
Standing, not just because of like any sort of prejudice or anything.
Yeah.
Why don't you
Personally, I believe in all love to all the people.
Me too.
You know, I was asking in general, you know.
Well, my purpose here is to speak to people on the street. I'm from a charity called Campaign Against Antisemitism.
Yeah.
I'm not like professing a side. I'm just here to see what the public thinks about the IRGC ban specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think terrible. The government should do better and try and bring communities together instead of making people try and hate each other for where they come from. UK was not like this back when I was a child. In the UK that I know, immigrants used to help each other out. Immigrants and people born in Britain used to get along great.
So let me ask you a question, if that's okay. So it sounds like you don't want to see the IRGC ban. Let's extend that. Are you in favour of keeping like groups like Hamas and Hezbollah as terrorist groups, or would you like to see them deprescribed?
Did you just say I want to support Hamas?
No. I'm not saying you want to support Hamas. I'm saying it sounds like, from what you're saying, you do not want the IRGC banned as a terrorist group, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm saying I'm trying to extend that conversation.
Okay.
You have existing groups that are banned, like Hamas and Hezbollah.
ISIS, things like that, yeah.
ISIS, things like that.
Yeah.
Do you want to see them banned, or do you want to have them deprescribed? Because with the IRGC, they fund those groups. They fund Hamas and Hezbollah.
Yes, I do not think there should be any type of terrorist groups. I stand firmly on the fact that the actions of other people does not represent a large majority, right? So yes, I do think if it's for the protection groups that the government do think brick harm should be banned, but I also think it's important for the government to kind of send out a message that people that look different than you aren't bad. Not every woman that walks down here in a hijab belongs to Hamas. Not everyone that looks different from you has bad intentions. And I think there should be education about the bad communities, but also a very important lesson to be taught about how important it is to stick together as a group of people.
This is actually news to me. I haven't caught up with the recent news going on, so this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
So do you know about the IRGC?
No, I do not. I'm not familiar.
Okay.
I don't really keep up with political topics.
Okay. Well, Iran's IRGC is the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. They're basically a paramilitary group of the Iranian government. And they're responsible for funding Hamas and Hezbollah, as well as other groups as well.
A lot of innocent people get mixed up in a lot of labels going on. So I think there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of worry in the world, and I think it's justified. But we just have to be careful with where we label people, and then we don't need to be suspicious of people. Right now, we need to learn how to trust in each other more. But what's going on, it is very scary. As I said, I don't know too much about it, but I would say we need to practice love more than anything right now.
They're funding terrorists, isn't it? They're funding the bombing and all that.
IRGC?
No, I mean the government.
The government's funding the bombing.
Are they not funding the genocide in Palestine?
Well, I know that the IRGC is funding Hamas and Hezbollah, and they go around killing people. Yeah. Like Hamas on the 7th of October, they murdered.
I think it might be on the other side. I don't know about that. I thought it was. Well, are you on the Zionist side?
It's not really a side thing. It's more like a facts thing.
It's either a genocide or it's not, isn't it?
I'm not talking about genocide. I'm talking about the ban on the Iranians.
That's how it started, though, to be honest, really, isn't it? And then that's how
the IRGC has been around for decades. They've been funding terror for decades, seriously.
I don't agree with them. I don't support them at all. Israel, come on, man. How many countries are you not fighting now? Do you know what I mean?
Listen, I'm not here to defend the Israeli government.
You are, come on.
You think so?
Don't you think you are? I don't know.
Why? Why do you think I am?
You're coming from that side of you. I don't know.
Why do you think I'm here to...
You're Star of David and you're onto the Iranians. You want to... You know what I mean?
I mean, this just means I'm Jewish. This doesn't show any political views.
I know a lot of Jewish people that are always protesting for Palestine, actually.
There you go.
So it's not about what you are, whether you're Jewish or not.
Right.
It's about whether you care if kids die, you know?
I care if any kids die.
Are you going to come out to stop the genocide, maybe?
Where is the Stop the Genocide meeting?
To protest, to speak up like this, man. Do you know what I mean? It's good what you're doing, you know, all of this and that, but...
You know, it depends. Like, from what I've seen in the pro-Palestine movement, there's been a lot of, like, anti-Semitic chants and signs, and that makes me not want to go there.
How can they be anti-Semitic if they're being led by Jews most of the time?
Are they being led by Jews?
No, when you come to they're always at the front, innit, with their banners.
There's a chunk of Jews that go to these protests, but...
You think if you're killing children, you might be anti-Semitic? I
never said that. I never said that. But you have to understand, most Jews, we've done polling, most Jews do not support these Palestine demonstrations, not because they're against the killing, not because they're for the killing of children, for the reason that this movement has an anti-Semitism problem. And I think two things can be true. You can be against... Listen, we're not talking about Netanyahu. I'm saying no, not at all. We're saying no, we're not. I'm saying two things can be true.
We were just talking
You
about
can be.
genocide.
You were talking about genocide.
I'm sorry. Was we not? Are we not talking if you agree with it? If Jews agree with it? Are we not talking about the genocide?
We're talking about movements here. The IRGC here, pro-Palestine movements here. Yeah.
What are they doing here?
The IRGC.
Oh, you mean Iranians?
Iranians.
They're usually against the government over there, aren't they? The ones that are here, anyway.
That's true. There's a lot of Iranian dissidents here, but you may have heard like.
You're telling me there's the IRGC are working in London?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's not crazy.
Maybe they are. Who knows? What I mean, they're both extreme. You know, are you firmly grounded in your morals and.
You're making. I feel like you're making a lot of assumptions about me about who I support.
Bro, you come to me with, you get me with your, and you're telling me about the Iranians, which is their obsession. You know what I mean? It's like, what about them? I'm like, bro, you're both.
Listen, it's in the news. That's why I'm doing this right now.
There's a lot of things in the news. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true. Listen, we can't talk about everything at once. You know.
That's true. Anyway.
All right, it's good talking to you.
Yeah, man. I found something out at least. You're saying they're in London nowadays.
I'm telling you. I promise you. There we go. That guy was interesting. I enjoyed that conversation. I mean, we clearly didn't agree on everything, and there was a back and forth. But you know what? I like it. I like the back and forth.
I think he was offensive.
You think he was offensive?
To you? Yeah.
To me. Go on.
He was making a lot of assumptions about you. He looked at your Star of David and thought you were supporting baby killing. True. You know, he did it with a good sense of humour, but I think he was very offensive. Do
you know what the IRGC is? No. It's Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. They are a proxy group on behalf of the government that funds Hamas, Hezbollah. The government say they've been responsible for terror attacks here in the UK. We're talking to people about this and seeing if they think it's the right move to ban it or not.
first you'd have to see the proof if that's actually a truth, a reality, where the funding has come from. We know all those things could be doctored and altered, so I wouldn't know. I'm not in the government.
Fair enough.
I'm not someone that can review that at all.
You're gonna plead the fifth, as the Americans say.
Not really plead the fifth. I think everything should be investigated and everything should be taken with a pinch of salt. Like, we can't just trust whatever the media is saying left, right and centre. There's been a lot of radicalisation of the people through and through. The media has had a big part to play in it, whether it's one side or the other. So we have to just be a bit more mindful and look at the policies, look at what interests those policies, look at where that's coming from, rather than just taking things as face value.
Okay. I mean, the leaders of the IRGC have made statements, saying we want to wipe Israel off the map and like the Jews and all this sort of stuff. It's not really just what the media in this country are saying as well.
Again, I don't know enough about actually being able to speak.
No worries.
I don't want to be someone that just like runs around and says, yeah, sure, do this, do that.
Yeah.
It's
All right. So I don't think a lot of people really know. I don't know. It's interesting. I think if I went around to most Americans, they just don't know. When you focus on something, it tends to expand. What you focus on expands. So whatever you really center in your life, you tend to have this cognitive dissonance, thinking that this is what everyone else is preoccupied with. If you love sports, everyone seems to be into sports. If you're into politics, because that becomes your worldview, and you tend to bring people into your orbit that are also interested in it, and so it seems everyone cares. The funny thing about it is most people day to day are not talking about Israel, are not talking about Palestine, are not talking about Iran, most people are busy feeding their dogs, taking their kids to school, going to work, complaining about mundane things, losing loved ones, having new babies. It happens to be that in the political sphere, Israel is talked about overwhelmingly more than other countries and other topics. But I just have come to realize that most people do not care all that much about the things going on outside of their little lives. So, looking forward to your feedback in the comments, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow me at Rafi the Realtor for all of your real estate needs in Miami and the greater South Florida area. And you can support the channel with some bread, with some dough, with some cash by going to the Buy Me a Coffee link in the pinned comment or description. Give it a click, throw some cash in there to show your appreciation. I appreciate all of you for tuning in, and I hope you will tune into the next one. Peace out.